an HBCU alum, I want to say thank you because you're my friend, and even if you weren't my friend, I want to thank you for the eyeballs that you brought. Mm-hmm. College game day showed up to Jackson State.
Yes.
Commissioner, and I understand his nephew played on your squad. He showed up. You've had so many scouts in and out, week in and week out.
All 32, yes.
And the attention that you brought to HBCUs, the way you've leveraged who you are with some of your corporate sponsors. Mm-hmm. You talk about a Walmart, you talk about an American Airlines, you talk about a Procter & Gamble, you talk about an Under Armour.
Yes.
Nobody has more uniform changes other than Oregon than Jackson State.
That's right.
You did that.
Yes.
You got a good friend of yours, Michael Strahan, to outfit your team so they don't look like an all-tournament team. Right. You know, some guys would wear hoodies, some guys would wear a sweatshirt or Jackson State paraphernalia. When you guys went on the road, everybody slacks, Jackson State, everything.
Looking professional.
So I want to say thank you for what you've done. I'm not criticizing, and a lot of times we start to criticize for what someone didn't do, but they forget all the great things that you did do. When you heard the criticism that was coming, that you were leaving, what went through your mind?
Well, people are hurt, and when people are hurt, oftentimes their first response isn't the response that should be given.
Okay.
They say things out of emotions and anger, but I listen. Because when a person says stuff, that's what they really feel.
Okay.
When they're hurt and out of emotions and anger. And I just thought to myself, if I didn't know who I was and where I headed, and if I didn't know the Lord, I would believe some of those things.
Okay.
But I know me, I know my heart, I know my intentions off the rip, and I know God.
Right.
And I know when he speaks. It's funny that when I first came and I said, God told me to come here, they didn't believe it.
Right.
But if I say, well, God said it's time for me to go, you still don't believe it. So what do you believe?
Right.
And what you should believe is, I'm led. Come on, Shannon. Let's get both of us. When the last time we put a football uniform on? but we're still going.
Right.
So if you don't believe, and successful.
Right.
So if you don't believe that God has his hands on us, something's wrong with you, because you got to see, I couldn't have done this by myself.
Right.
Had a wonderful coaching staff, or a wonderful AD who allowed me to do the things that we were able to accomplish. But it's no way we could have done those things without being led by the Lord.
Right. But you put a blueprint in place. You left a former member from your staff in place.
Yeah, but they mad because I got the pen. We put a blueprint in place, but I got the pen.
Right.
They say, and they upset that, so now really you're not gonna get the feeling that I gave you.
Right.
Because you felt like I let you down, I walked out. First and foremost, and I haven't disclosed this yet, my AD, Ashley Robinson, when I took the job, he said, I want you to do something for me. I said, what's that? He said, at least give me 2 years. I said, you got it.
Okay. You gave him 3.
It's real talk. That's what we discussed.
Do you? Let's just say, for the sake of argument, you gave them 5 years and says, "Okay, I'm leaving." What if you gave them 10 years?
It ain't gonna be enough, because it's, and I understand, because it's love.
Right.
You fell in love, and I fell in love too.
Right.
And I felt like we did more than we were expected to do.
Correct.
We just did it so expeditiously that it overwhelmed you and you thought it was easy. Because what would normally take someone several years, we did it in 2.5.
Right.
That's what was staggering.
CNN had a segment where they asked, is Deion Sanders a sellout for you leaving an HBCU? People said he sold a dream, then walked out on the dream. You're a con man,
Let me stop you right there.
Okay, go ahead.
What did I sell?
I don't know. I don't recall. Now, I could be wrong. I don't recall you saying you was going to stay for any length of time.
But what was the dream? The dream is that I wanted equality.
Right.
The dream that was, I wanted these kids to get the notoriety and get to the NFL. We did that.
Right.
The dream that we want better facilities, and we're overlooked and underfunded. I've established that. And we made strides towards that.
Okay.
The dream was that I believe I believe that we could win. I could believe that we could graduate at a certain rate. I believe that we could treat these kids and raise them to be young men. That was the dream. Why did you stop dreaming? I ain't.
Right.
The dream continues.
Could it be the dream that you had and the dream that they had are different? That might be it.
My man, let me tell you something. You know how I think, and
Right.
you know how I dream. And I don't know if that dream will ever align with my dreams.
Right.
Because I don't just look at athletics. I look at everyone.
Right.
We're for people.
Right.
We're not just for athletes.
Right.
Although that was my position, I'm in there fighting for everyone.
You're more than a football coach. You look at
They-
you look at yourself as more than a football coach, don't you?
Yes, because I am. God ain't just called me to no ball. That may be the title or the position, but no matter whatever occupation you have, you got to do more than what that job description